I'm at the Galveston County Model Railroad Club on the second floor of the Texas City Museum. I want to show you some examples of what the members have built. We call these modules. A module is typically 4 to 6 feet long. It starts out as a piece of plywood, and each member has their own theme that they use. So, for example, we call it Mount Whitney in honor of one of our members. This was built by Dave Sandberg. It's a beautiful mountain. We even have snow all over it. There must be 100 deer up here. Look at all the deer in amongst the trees on the side of the mountain. And then we have the gondola that's taking skiers up to the top of the mountain, and then the skiers can ski down. This is a good example of winter craftsmanship, a winter module, a module in the winter with a beautiful mountain somewhere in the Swiss Alps, or maybe Northern California. Now let me take you over to another module, because what I want to show you is the variety that we have with the modules that the members have built. This is a module, or a section of the railroad, in scale, that was built by Father Peter Whitney. He was born in England, so when he joined our club, he decided he wanted to build a module and bring a little bit of England to Texas City. So over here we have an English steam engine on display in the park. You know how we put steam engines on display in some of the parks? Well, this is an English steam engine called a Mallard, and these are buildings that Father Peter ordered from a department store in England, and they were shipped over flat. He cut them out and glued them to blocks of wood. Typical Elizabethan architecture here. You have the double-decker buses like you would see in any major British city. The traffic pattern is just the opposite to what we drive. People are driving on the left differently than we do. So this, you know, it's England. Over here we have a church that looks like a castle, and there's the Union Jack, the flag of Great Britain, flying from the castle. We have the bobbies on horseback. You have these row of chimneys that you see in these apartment buildings. It's very typical of any big English city, Birmingham, London. And then we have a train. This is a typical commuter train that English train riders would ride to and from work, like we have commuter trains here in the United States. So here is a slice of England. Oh, and by the way, there's a dinosaur. Every now and then you'll find a dinosaur in strange places, so we have to watch out for the dinosaurs. Let me show you another module. I'll show you one more. This is a good example of how we have a variety of modules for you to look at. Lots of scenery, buildings, people doing things, and mountains. And here we have a circus. This is an HO gauge, a little bit larger. Here we have the Ferris wheel. Here's a lady being shot out of a cannon. And this is the parade that's coming out from town. Now, back in the days in the 1930s and 40s, when the circus would come to town, they would find a meadow or a field outside of town and they'd set up. And then they would go into town and have a parade down Main Street to draw all the people out of the town to come out and to see the circus. So here's the parade. You have the wagons that are typical of the parades in those days. Here's a silverback ape on top of this one right here. Here's the snake. Here is the parade with the band. This is Evel Knievel. He came to the circus here, and he's about to jump over those two trucks. And then we have the lady about to be shot out of the cannon, or no, she just got shot out. Boom, there she goes. And then here's the merry-go-round. And then inside the big top, we have the elephants are performing, the acrobats are performing, and the clowns are performing. And then here are all the suckers. Here's all the people lined up to pay their $10 to get in to see the circus. And by the way, when you were a kid, if you didn't let go of your balloons when your mom or dad told you to do so, this is what would happen to you. Now, of course, you see that the other one holding the balloon, he's not going to let go. And why is that? Because that's Curious George. And Curious George never lets go of any of his balloons. So here we have a circus module. It started out as plywood, just plywood. But Ed Bundrum, who is our club president who built this is what happens when you go in with the magic of scenery. You're putting in buildings and structures, grass, sawdust, painting lots and lots of little people, so that you finally after a lot of hard work, many hours of hard work, you have a circus. So this is what we have here at the Galveston County Model Railroad Club. A lot of different things for you to look at. A lot of scenery, a lot of different modules, and the members have put a lot of work into making something that would be of interest to you.